back with comedian David Boyle. And I think my mum's listening to this. My brother called me the other day and he's like, I heard you bombed your gig the other night. I'm talking about that gig. I covered it in my worst gig ever episode. That's the only place I've ever spoken about that gig, besides telling other comedians to make them laugh. And so I'm like, where the hell did you hear that from? He's like, Mum told me. I'm like, how the fuck did she know? Where did she get that information from? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, well, thanks for the chat. So I think Mum's listening, and Mum has been a chronic alcoholic for at least 30 years now. And I've been telling her to quit for about 28 of those 30 years. She's a cheap wine alcoholic, and she has been for a very, very, very fucking long time. So long, in fact, I have no idea how the fuck she's still alive. Because she chain smokes and drinks like a fucking fish. And I've got no idea how the fuck she would have found this podcast. Because I haven't put it up on any of my social medias. I really haven't told any friends or family about it. The main reason behind that is so I can shit on them behind their back. But I'm happy to do it to their face as well. I like to think Mum has finally decided I'm going to quit alcohol. This is the day. It's been 30 years in the making. And she's just sat there and she's Googled quitting alcohol. And the first thing that popped up is my podcast. And she's gone, I'm quitting alcohol. That sounds like something I want to do right now. Let's listen to it. Who's it by? David Boyle. And it wouldn't have even registered for her. She just would have been like, oh, that's strange. Oh, the guy that does this podcast has the same name as my son. And then I like to think the first episode she clicked on was the episode where I talked about how she lost our house and then going on an $80,000 3-month bender and losing all the money. And that story still wouldn't even register with her. She'd be like, oh my God, who is this irresponsible bitch this guy's talking about? It's you, Mum. It's you. And now that you're listening, it's been 30 years in the making. It's time to fucking quit. What's an embarrassing story I can tell about you? There's not a lot of embarrassing stories. They're more horrific and scarring stories. But I'll try and think of a light-hearted one. Let me think. What was there? Well, there were those 5 times in 2 years you got caught drink driving and then lost your license for over 20 years. That was pretty funny. What about that time when we were like 16 and you just completely disappeared for 3 months? like we got home from school and you just weren't there for 3 months. And that wasn't even bad though. That was good. That was good fun. We had the house to ourselves. Yeah, that's right. I was working at a supermarket as a cashier. I think I was like 16. Obviously, I was stealing money from the cash register, so that was helping. Then I'd get my brother Darren to come down to the supermarket. I'd tell him to fill a fucking trolley full of shit and come down my aisle, and I just won't scan 98% of the shit. So he would fill the trolley so it was overloaded and come through, and I would just start chucking shit in the bags. I'd even start doing those, you know, the beeping noise. Doot, doot, doot. I actually made the noise myself sometimes because I was like, they're going to get suspect when they only hear one beep every 40 items. So I just used to go doot, doot, doot. So we did that for months. And then one day he just came home. We were like, fuck, where were you? And you were like, I don't want to talk about it. I needed a break. And fair enough, you did need a break. So that's one story. So you can take this down to your friends at the pub and go, hey, I got a mention in this podcast. And they'll all think you're about 25 years overdue. It would be annoying if you're listening, Mum, because last time you listened to a fucking podcast, I talked about smoking DMT and you didn't shut up about it for about 8 months. And that got fucking boring and annoying. And then you wouldn't shut up about me saying the word cunt. Oh, you should say the word cunt less. No one likes the word cunt. I like the word cunt. So if you are listening, Mum, you are a cunt. Funny shit. All right, that's it for tonight. I'm fucking out of here. Keep hitting this up on social media. I am at Boyle Comedy on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Do that shit. Also, go to Apple Podcasts if you're listening there and just rate, review, and subscribe. So